What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that bell so you'll get notification anytime I go live and anytime I post a video. And if you like what you're hearing at any moment during this video, go ahead and hit that like button so we get to the algorithm and more people can see this content. Let's get into this. Today we're going to review a clip. Candace Owens makes a guest appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And she's speaking with a young lady who feels like you should never put a man first. We're going to watch this clip, and I'm going to break this all the way down.
I don't agree with putting a man first, because when he leave you, then what? What you gonna have? What you gonna have? If you put your all into a man will leave you with shit and bricks.
Let's say the court systems favor women. Actually, women will get everything if a guy gets up and leaves.
Okay, so
I heard somebody else say like, oh, like the house and blah blah, and then you'll have nothing. I'm like, actually, in the current environment of what happens to men in courtrooms, you'd have pretty much everything.
But the man gotta want to marry you. These never put a man first, because even though this is my life, you know what I'm saying? This is my life.
If you were married.
If I was married, I still wouldn't put my husband first. There's a lot of people nowadays that doesn't understand what a union is.
Well, I would argue potentially that you're that person, because you just said if we got married, I would still put me first. That's not a union.
First, though, would a man put his wife first?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, I feel like you should always put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a guy, you shouldn't put a guy over yourself. That doesn't make it.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that. What are your thoughts on that? Right? She's saying that, you should always put yourself first. You should never put a man first. She said even if she was married, she would not put her husband first. And Candace Owens was pretty much making an argument that, because she was the girl when the girl first got on, she was saying like, this man could potentially leave you, so on and so forth. And Candace Owens was pretty much explaining to her like the way the court systems are set up, a woman is gonna benefit more. Let's just say if the marriage dissolved or didn't work out, a woman would benefit more in most cases, not in all cases, but she's saying a woman would benefit more because she would receive a lot of assets, half or whatever it may be, right? Even if it's not half, but that woman will benefit from being in that marriage if it was to ever dissolve, right? So we can look at that. We can also look at the fact that she said that she would not put a man first. What are your thoughts on this, guys? What are your thoughts on this? Well, you clicked on this video, so you're going to get my thoughts. And you can leave your thoughts in the comment section. We can talk about it. Ladies, you should absolutely put your man first. You should absolutely put your man first. Hands down, without a doubt, you should put your man first. Now, some women gonna say, well, does it depend on if we married, if we not married, yada yada yada. They're gonna go down that whole path. I'm gonna tell you like this: if you are in a serious committed relationship, you should still put your man first. Why? Because you have to practice moving that way before you get into a marriage. You don't just get into a marriage and flip a switch, right? If you want this marriage to be a successful one, you are going to have to practice moving a certain way before you get into the marriage, so that when you get into that marriage, you'll already be accustomed to how to move. Now, there may be certain things you may want to preserve for the marriage. Like I know many will not have sex until they say their vows or whatever the case may be. If you want to preserve that, that's one thing. That's between you, God, and the man who you with. You know what I'm saying? That's between y'all. But outside of that, you should be moving in a way so that when you get into that marriage, those things are already the norm as far as the way that you are moving. So it's not a big culture shock like, oh man, what do I do now? Like, I'm not used to this. Go ahead and start moving that way before you get into it. Now, going back to the premise of this video, I mean, you go, well, what's this whole thing about putting the man first and yada 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 yada? Well, this is coming from a godly standpoint, right? This is coming from a godly standpoint. If you read through that Bible, if you go through that Bible, you will see more times than not, that man is the head. That man comes first, right? Even if you go to the creation story in the beginning, go to Genesis 2:18, where it says that no man should be alone. So out of Adam's rib, God created Eve, and he said that this woman will be a suitable helper. A woman was created to be a suitable helper to a man, right? Even if you go to 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it speaks about the head of man is God, the head of woman is man, right? The head of woman is man. Even if you go to Ephesians 5:22 through 25, it says, wives, submit to your husband. Husbands, love your wives, right? So you can tap into any of that, and there's many more scriptures. But that man comes first. He's the head. He's the leader, right? Follow that man, right? Do not commit to a man whose lead you can't follow. I'll say it again. Do not commit to a man whose lead you can't follow for whatever reasons. Maybe you see weakness in him. Maybe you're not into him. Whatever the case may be. Maybe you see too much flaw. Maybe in his past. Maybe in his life. Maybe in his logic. Whatever the case is. If you feel that way, don't bother getting into it, because it ain't going to do nothing but self-destruct. Do not follow a man whose lead you cannot follow. But you should absolutely put your man first. Again, you need to practice that while y'all are in the relationship stage. You don't have to wait until y'all say I do and get legal, right? Because here's the truth. To become one after sex, right? That's in the Bible. To become one after sex, after having sex. A lot of y'all didn't know that. So a lot of you are married and you don't even know it. Right? That guy or that lady you with, who you in a relationship with, y'all dating, y'all having sex, right? You are bonded to them. You guys have a bond. You might not have put it on paper yet, but you guys are spiritually bonded, right? You guys are already married and you don't even know it. So some of y'all that's waiting to sign paperwork before y'all start moving a certain way, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to tell you right now, you're already spiritually married, right? Sex, when you had sex, you became one spiritually. I want y'all to keep that in mind for all y'all that's waiting around, waiting to sign paperwork to do this and do that. You're already spiritually bonded, right? You got legal marriage. That's the way with the government, yada, yada, yada. You got spiritual marriage. A lot of you guys and ladies are spiritually married and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. You feel it. A lot of y'all feel it, but you don't even know it, right? So let me get y'all hip to that. But ladies, a woman with an attitude like the woman in the video, 9 times out of 10 will never get married. 9 times out of 10. Now, of course, there's always a change, and she can change her mind one day, and she could be enlightened on how she should move as a woman, yada, 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 and she could turn things around. But if she continues on with that mindset, she will never get married. Ladies, tighten up. Men, y'all got to tighten up too. Be strong leaders. Get some spirituality about yourself. Follow God. Don't just follow yourself and other people you watching on YouTube. Follow God. Don't just follow people in your neighborhood. Don't just follow your favorite celebrity. Don't just follow your favorite athlete. Follow God. Be strong leaders so these women can have someone to follow and allow to lead them. Right? Get yourself together. Clean yourself up. Get your priorities in order. Get your life in order so you can be a strong leader to these women or to a woman. Right? Guys, tighten up too. Ladies, be willing to follow. A lot of women got strong men right in front of them, but still won't follow him. A lot of women are bonded to good, strong leaders and still won't follow them. Ladies, tighten up. Tighten up. Let's get this right. Let's get this right and let's cut out all this nonsense. Come on, guys. God is too good. God is too good. But that's all I got for you guys. Like this video. Share this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. I could be off on something. And again, subscribe to the YouTube. Speech the Beast. It's on the wall. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. Remember, guys, keep God first. And thanks for tapping in. I'm going to start doing live soon. We're going to really start sitting down, having a conversation, watching clips together, getting down to the root of a lot of these topics that's starting to come up. I want to see you guys successfully get in relationships, get into marriages, have successful families, so on and so forth. We got to start sitting down having these conversations. That's all I got for you guys. I love you all. Be blessed.